Okay, today let's decode why your content isn't booking calls. Specifically, in the next few minutes, you're going to walk away with what LinkedIn content is actually for. A lot of people don't even know that. What does bad content that books no calls look like? You need to know what not to do what to do, if that makes sense. How to create LinkedIn content that amplifies your outreach. So let's dive right in. What is LinkedIn content actually for? For B2B companies with a book a call model, LinkedIn content has one job. Guess what that is? I will give you a few seconds to guess it. It's book more calls. That is it. This does not mean we stop posting consistently because our job is only to book calls, so we don't need content, we only need outreach. That's not what I'm saying. It does not mean followers do not matter. It does not mean likes, reach, and brand awareness are worthless. It means your North Star is revenue. Specifically, if you have a book a call model, calls booked is how you get there. Followers, likes, and brand awareness are things you pick up along the way. So do not optimize for anything else. Your North Star metric is the number of calls you are booking on a monthly basis. Now, let us see what does bad content that books no calls actually look like. It fails on three counts. This is the biggest one. It does not kill a real buying objection. It's just created. It's created because an idea captivated the buyer and they wanted to capture it. Or it's created because the buyer was in a very scenic place and they could show more of their personality through that post. But none of that matters. What matters is it killing a real buying objection? Your prospects have 7 to 10 specific objections before they decide to work with you. Bad content doesn't kill one specific objection from that list, hence, it never moves your prospect closer towards booking a call with you. What will make your prospect closer towards booking a call with you? Here is you, here is your prospect. Between you two, there are 7 to 10 objections. Won't your prospect move closer towards booking a call with you if they consume content that kills one specific buyer objection at a time? Second, this one is obvious, still it needs to be said. It sounds like it was blindly copy pasted using AI, even if it's killing an objection. So, what a lot of people will do after, let's say, reading this is they might think, I will just automate it. I will just come up with real buying objections somehow using AI. AI will tell me, Cowork will do a research task. Claude chat will reason out the objections, and then I will create a Claude project that just spits out content 200 words, and I will code inside that project. Do not sound like AI, and I'm done. I will have several posts in a few seconds. Does not happen. That does not happen yet. Sure, you can train AI on several examples of yours. You still need to ensure it still sounds like a human. If you apply several guardrails on your project, such as a list of banned words, such as don't talk, like a common thing with AI is that it's not X, it's Y. Or you will see three no's together. No paid ads, no cold outreach, no this. It just sounds like a fucking ad. You don't want to sound like a fucking ad. You want to sound like a human being. How to do that? Read out your copy. Just read out your copy, and when you're reading it out you will notice, okay, these places it's just completely off. That you fix. Make it more conversational in nature. Remove any word that doesn't lead to a change in behavior of your prospect. So notice this copy. uh, it's if it doesn't sound like you talk, they won't read it. I'm not delving on this bit. I'm not just staying on this bit in copy. I'm not repeating this. No need to repeat. why would you want to write like you talk? It's because if you don't, your readers will perceive your content as low effort immediately. They'll perceive it to be unintentional content, low effort and unintentional. Why would they buy? Why would they invest in a considered purchase? A considered purchase is generally where people have to think through the investment they're making, all high ticket B2B. Why would they invest in you if you're being why would they even listen to you if you're being perceived as low effort and unintentional? And why would you not be perceived like that if you blindly copy paste AI copy? Or maybe not blindly copy paste, but you are not reading it out. You have made sure, okay, this kind of makes sense, this kind of makes sense. You've sparred with Claude, you've gone back and forth, and the points covered kind of make sense. But if they read if they don't read like a human would talk, you've lost them. You can't get them to book a call with you if they can't spare a few seconds consuming your content, which they will not, because it sounds too much like AI. And too much like AI is basically capturing the language of the internet. It's not, at least till now, it's not. It doesn't. You can tell it, make it more human, make it. I have not seen any noticeable changes in output whenever such prompts are given. What you instead have to do, maybe you can get away with make it conversational and don't repeat yourself, get to the point quicker, be more specific, be clear. But what I've seen is generally no one knows your offer, your business more than you. And instead of just battling with AI too much, just talk it out. Use something like this whisper flow here, talk it out and edit that way. It's much more quicker. Also, you are not mass blasting content. This is content that you need to take seriously. This is content that is a few pieces a week. It's not, you can do 7 intentional pieces a week without spending hours. You can make it happen inside 180 minutes with a repeatable process. High quality, good thumbnails, sounds human, kills their objection. You can make that happen. Just you have to ensure that, yeah, this is not happening. This AI bit is not evident in your content. Number 3, does not speak their buyer's hell fluently. Understand this, that B2B deals don't happen because why not? Let's give someone $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 per month. It happens because you're fixing something that's breaking and costing them money. If your content doesn't target that breakage precisely, they'll assume you don't understand their situation, and if you don't understand their situation, they won't trust you to fix it. These 3 points make content bad and makes you book no calls. They don't kill a real buying objection. It sounds like it was blindly copy pasted using AI, and it does not speak their buyer's hell fluently. Now, let's learn. Now that we know what not to do, let's see what can we do to amplify our outreach. A lot of people still think that content is just for inbound clients. I think that it's to amplify your outreach. It's to increase the conversions on your outreach. It's to help you get more positive responses. It's to get more people on the call, because when they receive targeted customers, people who actually need your solution, receive your DMs, which are precise, which lead with pure value, no ask, which present a concrete offer after they've built value, which offer a free sample of your service for them to test you out. When they receive your DMs and then they go to your profile and they just scan through, okay, if they are not impressed instantly, you've lost them. So if you have a banger profile, I'll maybe cover that in some other video. How should the definitive guide to LinkedIn profiles, let's say. But if they visit your profile, go through your content, and they see, okay, he is actually killing a real objection that I had for working with someone like him or her, someone like that offer. He's actually killing a buyer, he's actually killing a real objection of mine. Why wouldn't they move closer towards booking a call with you? So with that said, let's learn how to create LinkedIn content that amplifies your outreach, that increases your conversions, that gets you more positive responses, more calls booked. First, you have to start by identifying 7 to 10 buyer objections. Your buyers don't have 50 objections preventing them from booking a call with you. They have 7 to 10 distinct objections. For my buyer, they look like, I'll just show it to you what objections I have from my buyers. I'm a lead gen guy. I help businesses who have a book a call model book high intent sales calls each week on a performance basis. These are the objections they have for my offer, which is number one, I've heard your promise many times before from others. So far, no one has delivered. What do you have that's different and better? There is a reason I've put it on number one. It's not that, hey, these are 8 buyer objections that I have in no particular order. No, these are ordered based on actual sales conversations that I've had with prospects. Number two, I tried cold outreach to my ICP and it didn't work. So I've decided inbound and content is the right path for my business. This one is a major objection for me. Then, third, even if this works for other service providers, what proof is there that it'll work in my niche with my kind of buyers? As I'm going through these, I also want you to emulate. Some of these you can just emulate directly for your offer. Doesn't have to be just lead gen. For example, if you're a fractional CFO and you're constantly and you're pitching growth stage founders your offer, and your offer sounds and your content can be, what do you have that's different and better? You can be killing this objection all day every day. This can apply for a lot of offers. The first objection. Fourth, if I started doing outreach, I can't afford to look pushy or cheap in front of my target buyers. This is specific for lead gen agencies. This might not apply to everyone. So it's not a one size fits all. It's more of okay, you can emulate using that. These are how actual objections look like. Then number 5, I don't want to babysit another system. If this adds to my workload, I won't use it. Notice it's going slightly down the list. Sure, this is an objection, but from my first party data, I've seen that, yeah, I will keep it. I might create content killing this objection, but this isn't such a huge deal. Like this isn't a front loaded objection. Front loaded objections are at the top. Then I've already tried marketing pushes before. Why would this be any different or actually bring paying clients? This is something similar to the first one. Then we have referrals have always brought me clients. What if switching focus to outbound actually hurts that? Then lastly, why would I pay someone else to do this when I could just hire a VA or SDR for less? So how do you now? Your job is simply to extract these buyer objections so you can kill them in your content, so that you're moving the prospect closer to the sale every time they consume your content. Now, where do you find them? Sales calls and DM conversations. Simple, nothing complicated. All sales calls that you've had till date, you can use AI to extract distinct 7 to 10 buyer objections. Same from DM conversations. A good practice is to capture them as they happen, especially in DM conversations, in case you notice a unique one show up. For me, I haven't seen a unique one in a while. Once I captured these 7 to 8 ones, I'm like, okay, fine. We have the 80-90% of objections captured. Now, as we'll keep doing more sales calls, we'll come across maybe a new objection, but generally it stays within these 8. So start by identifying 7 to 10 buyer objections first. Now, once you've done that, second one is obvious. Kill one specific objection in each piece. If you try to kill three objections in one post, you kill none. You just dilute your argument. In business, we are in the game of making undeniable arguments, especially digital service businesses. Unless you're selling something that sells remarkably well, like chicken tikka masala and garlic naan, that is huge outside of India. I don't know why. In India, it's not that huge. In India, we have much more nuanced dishes, but that is huge everywhere outside of India. Chicken tikka masala and garlic naan. If you're selling that, you don't need to have undeniable arguments. But we are selling digital services, which are difficult to comprehend. It's costly, it's custom, it's a considered purchase. We are living our game, our entire game is to keep making undeniable arguments through our content, through our sales conversations, so that our prospects objections get killed and they invest their money and time with us. That is the game that we are playing. When we are playing that game, you don't need to dilute your arguments. It doesn't serve you. Just kill one specific one in each piece. As a byproduct of killing it, if you kill other birds with that one stone that you threw, awesome, no issues. That happens. That could happen. You could see that, but just sniper targeted on killing one particular objection. So whatever idea you have, okay, what exact objection am I killing in here today? Cool. Next. Third, package your post to force the open. Just killing objection isn't enough. You also need to package your post to force the open. So this is how a post would look like. Your buyers will see the first two lines and then they will see the thumbnail. They will see the hook and they will see the thumbnail. Both have just one job, which is to force the open. Let's read this hook. When everyone can use AI and get good at it quick, what then becomes your moat? This is a topic that's talked about a lot. In the hook, I mention when everyone can use AI, people agree, yeah, everyone can use AI. And good at it quick, people agree with that also. Okay, yeah, sure. What then becomes your moat? This forces the open. This makes them want to know, especially in the B2B space. Overall digital service business space, B2B, everyone heavily uses AI. We are at the forefront of using AI for our marketing, sales, and fulfillment activities. We are most affected. So how can we target such topics and then force the open through? How do you force the open? You basically open a irresistible curiosity loop in your reader's head. Questions work exceptionally well there. Questions like what then becomes your moat? Questions like what then becomes what they want? You are constantly either feeding their desire or you are targeting their specific pain. Now, one thing that I want to call out here is I have invested quite a fair bit of my life collecting these hooks. I spent quite a few months doing that. I have a massive library that I call Juicy Angles, which it's a swipe file of hooks that I capture. And even in my Claude project, which I used to create these pieces, I used to refer that. I have stopped doing that. I think it just complicates stuff. I think once you have that framework clear, that all you really need is you need to force the open. You need to feed into their desire. You can just use questions to do that. Then with reps, you don't need that. It eats up less mental bandwidth. It takes less cognitive load, which you spend if you upload a massive hook template and you try to fit in that hook all the time. For me personally, that hasn't been, for me, I don't like that process. For me, what I like is I keep a track, or not a track. I have a Notion page where I capture all ideas, all content ideas that stem from mostly sales and DM conversations. And then once a week, I would just write these out. I'll identify what exact buyer objection am I killing. Then I'll identify what the hook is going to be, and then I just create it. I know that the structure of a good content piece is the hook needs to disrupt the reader, and that happens if you force the open. Then you just need to, then you, I don't want to say you just need to, it's not that easy. Then what needs to be done is you keep creating intrigue until the end of the post. That is what you have to do. How do you do that? You do that by, once you have nailed the title, you just identify, okay, these are 2 3 questions that people will have that I would love to answer in this post, and you just answer them. And this works well if you are very clear on your offer, if you have earned expertise, because then for you it's much easier speaking things out, identifying which questions need to be answered here, typing them out. It just becomes a 15-minute exercise. Where this fails miserably is when you're first inventing things that you've not done. Then it fails completely, because now you are entering the realm of fiction writing, which I have zero experience in. But I do know, for B2B, for lead gen purposes, for generating clients, just talk about shit you've done through, you've captured through your sales and DM conversations and your fulfillment activities. Just talk about that. It's much easier, much faster, much quicker, much more useful for people. So just do that. All of this is being done because I have actually made some of these mistakes above, and I have fixed some of these things here. Okay. So that's why this is a little mini rant on hook creation. I didn't want to guide you towards that lane of adding blinders to you, where I give you set templates that that keep changing, that keep evolving. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of. Nonetheless, if I notice something that immediately captures my attention, I'll save that in my swipe file, and when I'm creating content on it, I'll test if I can work around with this hook. So this keeps me flexible, this keeps me free, this doesn't just bind me so tightly that I have to use these, I have to plug these formulas, these formulaic templates in. What ends up happening with those formulaic templates is that they feel over optimized, they stop sounding human. As soon as they stop sounding human, you start losing trust. Think over engineered hooks. Compare this to this one, which is when everyone can use AI and get good at it quick. Sounds like something a human would say. What then becomes your moat? Simple. Now, hook isn't the only thing. You also have the option of using a thumbnail. I highly recommend using founder thumbnails to get started. Why? Because they're very easy to create. So before I talk about founder thumbnails and infographic thumbnails and whatnot, basically adding a thumbnail, if you're not Dan Co and if you don't have a massive personal brand behind you, then you can leverage the thumbnail. How do you leverage the thumbnail? People naturally stop the scroll when images are attached. It gives you a higher chance of getting the right impressions. Then this can be a repeatable process that takes 1 minute to create, especially in Canva. Let me show it to you here. Okay, so in Canva, what you can do is you can just have one particular running page of your LinkedIn thumbnails. You can just have one format. For example, for me, this is the format that I go with. My brand colors are black, white, and amber. That is how I have. And now what I need to do is simply every single time I create a post, all I have to do is come up with the copy that I need here in the thumbnail. That is it. These photos I already have shot in the past. I have a few photos shot. These photos, you can easily generate variants of these photos with different expressions, such as this is more of a serious look. You can turn this into something such as pointing at a particular thing kind of a look, or a big smile using ChatGPT very easily these days. ChatGPT's image generation, the new one, is exceptionally good at the time of this recording. It'll only keep getting better. So this kind of founder thumbnail just gets created in 1 minute. What you have to do is just have your own background, have your photo, get this done, and these images can be shot one time. You can go to your terrace or wherever you have a window, let natural light touch your face, and then just give that selfie to ChatGPT and guide it. What kind of expression do you want? It'll generate it in seconds, and you can keep reusing these also. Like I have, I think, around 6 to 10 of these here, not here, where you're seeing 6 to 10 saved inside my Notion, and I keep rotating through them. Then, in terms of the copy, thumbnail copy, that is also very important. You don't want to repeat what you've said above. So let's look at it. So this post hook is when everyone can use AI and get good at it quick, what then becomes your moat? None of that is getting repeated here. So none of the keywords such as moat, etc. is getting repeated. What is being said is AI can't do this. You want your thumbnail copy to complement your title or your hook, so that you're not repeating the same thing. You're giving your reader new information. This again, okay, so someone stops at it, they would be they would be forced to open this because they want to know what AI can't do. They will read the thumbnail copy and be, AI can't do this. Okay, I would like to know that. That is how you should be thinking about copy. Again, I want to kind of help you think through these things, as opposed to, for me, I have skills specifically for these things where I can generate thumbnail copy. I have a thumbnail copy skill, but it would benefit you more to learn the framework behind it, and once you've understood it, then you can obviously create a skill around it. Then it makes sense. Cool. So this is it. Now you know what LinkedIn content is actually for, what does bad content that books no calls look like, and how to create LinkedIn content that amplifies your outreach. If you'd like to see how I can book you high intent sales calls each week on a performance basis, meaning you only pay me for every high intent sales call that shows up on your calendar, you can book a free 20-minute discovery call using the first link in description. Awesome. I had fun creating this. If you have any questions regarding this, feel free to mention them in the comments. I would love to answer them. Until next time, have a great day. Bye bye.